So the switching gears a little bit. So I did, Willie. I stumbled upon an article that you did with was it Inc.com magazine earlier in the month of February, and it was an interesting article. I appreciated it. The title's "How Montana Distiller Willie Blazer Plans for Growth Amid Constant Change," with written by Elizabeth Gore, February 1st, 2026, if anybody wants to look up the article. But I would recommend it. It's a cool article. I thought it was interesting. They talk about that the number of active U.S. craft distilleries, and again, we talked about this in the previous show that we did together, dropped and declined. And this is kind of interesting. So I was like, well, what at the peak, how many craft distilleries were there actually in this country? And back in between 1810 and 1840, there was anywhere between 14,000 and 20,000 craft distillers. And then it almost eliminated, like it went down to like just a couple hundred, if not almost completely wiped out. Like Prohibition, yeah. And now it's back up to around, well, it was, I think, around just shy of 4,000, but it's dropped back to about 23,000.
Or 2,000 to 3,000, or 2,300.
2,300. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. Yeah.
23,000 would be a lot.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. And it was, and I thought the article was really cool because it talked about that tying in with the Devil's Brigade and your history and background, and longevity in a shrinking category reflects a set of operating principles shaped by hard lessons. So the question becomes, how do you grow a small business when costs, laws, and regulations keep changing? And I guess curiosity is, from your standpoint, considering the way the volatility of your industry and the way that things have changed, and everything that you've lived through and experienced and know as a man, and everything that you've done. What do you feel like is the biggest mistake that other craft distilleries make that someone that is disciplined wouldn't do?
Yeah, I guess one of the first things I would think of is listening to the consumer, listening to what your consumers, the people that are paying your bills, they're buying your stuff for a reason. Listen to what they want, adapt to them. This isn't all about you. I mean, if you're just doing it as a craft or a hobby, if you're actually doing it, to run a business and, make a livelihood for your family and employ other people, a business is a business. And, lots of times it's about money. It's about making money and staying afloat and paying your bills. And so you need to listen to what people are telling you and don't get tunnel visioned on, I have the newest, greatest idea of concocting or making this new thing. And that's cool. I mean, we've done some, different things that, maybe other people haven't done before. But, don't get focused on you. Listen to what the consumer's telling you. It's cool that you think you made the best thing in the world. Nobody's buying it,
right?
Because they don't like it.
Right.
They don't know about it, or they don't like it, or
Right.
it costs too much, or whatever the reason is.
Right.
They're not buying it. So,
But the thing that has to be hard for you too is an awful lot of the time marketing. Like, it might be amazing, but for whatever reason, it just didn't hit a message in marketing that I always find interesting. I mean, honestly, even when we do, like when we were putting out the show, and the number of clips, because whatever, the title was just right, the thumbnail was just right, whatever it happened to be, that has a ton of watches, and something else that had just as good of information got like no views, and you always wonder, well, okay, but did we need to pivot on what we were saying there? Well, we were saying the same thing, but how do you, trying to separate that out in a business and going, okay, well, was it actually the product that wasn't liked, or did we just not message it the right way? Can always be.
Yeah, marketing's huge. And my late wife, Robin, she said that day one. She said, we're a marketing business who happens to make spirits. You don't want to go around telling everybody that.
Right.
Here I am on a podcast, but it's, it's true. And, we're very proud of what we do and our team and our crew. I mean, we kick butt every day with what we do, but marketing goes a long ways.
Well, we were
Marketing and branding and
Yeah.
your story and all that.
Yeah.
People want authentic people, not necessarily just corporations.
And we were talking last week about paradigm. So when somebody's stuck on what they like, if you could get them to just step outside their little box and try something new, a lot of the time they might find out that there's something totally different, and I threw myself under the bus on it. I was like, I'm a bourbon drinker. I don't think I drink rye. And then we drank the rye and I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Yeah. And your bourbon, like, I liked it so much. And I was like, this is different than the normal bourbons I like that are normally vanilla, very vanilla forward. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's a spicy note to it. And Glenn, thankfully, was like, that's rye because it's a rye forward bourbon. And I was like, apparently I'm a rye drinker. But I was so glad that I had the opportunity because it's not something I would ever just go immediately buy. But now that I got introduced to it, now I'm like, I'm a rye girl. So I think that is the hard thing in any kind of business, is getting somebody to at least try the first one, try whatever it happens to be, because we all get so tunnel visioned into what we believe we are, what we believe we're supposed to do, what we believe how we're supposed to live. Any of that until you actually stop and really check in, you're going to miss out.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, Karen, because I actually wanted to just remind everybody that, so the rye whiskey is the one closest to Michael, that bottle there. And then the Million Acre Bourbon is this one here. So these are the first quarter of 2026 promotions. If anybody wants to go on Willie's website or the Treasure State Advisors website and purchase those, you can buy all three and get free shipping if you buy all three together, which is a pretty cool deal. And then you can have them to enjoy as well. Today, obviously, we're covering the Devil's Brigade, which is the March product, and the concluding the first quarter of the year.